Welcome to a Badger Beer Report special, our Patreon release. And I will introduce the man who has been waiting to tell y'all all about this for months now. Actually, y'all know because he was talking about it in December, is the director of brewery relations and research here at the Badger Beer Report, my friend and colleague, Joel Geyer. What's going on, Joel? You excited for this? I know you are.
Yeah, we've been obviously working behind the scenes quite a bit, trying to get this stuff all squared away and figured out. And we are just, man, there is a lot of exciting stuff going on right now behind the scenes, and we won't even talk about all of it tonight. But holy cow, do we have a lot of irons in the fire? Do we have a lot of fun content coming people's way, both in the immediate and more in the distant future? So there is a lot to be excited about right now. But what we are here for is obviously to talk about Patreon, something that we have discussed and hinted at now since end of 2025. We kind of discussed that we are moving towards adding some additional content, some more for the people, essentially, that you and I are kind of taking a step forward in how we are approaching Badger Beer Report, the level of seriousness, the level of work that we are putting into it. And as such, we are taking this approach. I should preface this by saying is that we are not putting everything behind a paywall. I want to make that very clear. I will probably say it again at the end so that people know that your Badger Brewery Reports, your Mix Sixes, social media stuff, none of that is going to change. You will still have that is going to be out there for the public. There will still be podcasts that I am actually setting up right now because we've been, kind of waiting for this to get those set up. There will be some changes with that, which I will get to. But for those of you that have been following Badger Beer Report content, nothing is changing in regards to what you currently are viewing. This is going to be additional content that we are going to be providing for folks. So we can go ahead and jump in. We have 3 tiers for membership that people can select, and they are the short pour, the full pint, and the barrel age reserve. As you can see, of course, we had to name them after beer stuff, Greg. And we're going to go through each of these individually here to kind of discuss exactly what is available within each one. We can go ahead and start with the short, and the simplest one is the short pour, which makes sense. And this is at $3 a month. And essentially the pitch with this one is that you are buying us a beer once a month to help keep the mics on. What you are going to be getting out of this, we are going to be, shouting you out on on some of the podcasts as a round buyer. We will also be, essentially thanking you for supporting our mission. This is just essentially trying to help us, Greg and I in particular, start to continue to afford to do a lot of extra content. Greg and I have both been on the road pretty extensively here for the last several months, and it is going to get even more extreme as we move into the spring and summer months with all of the video content, collabs, all sorts of stuff that you're going to have going on. So there is a lot out there. So this level is essentially for the people out there that, have enjoyed our content, don't necessarily need to do a whole lot. They don't need a whole lot more, but they want to, tip of the cap essentially, and they support what we're doing. That is essentially what the short pour is for folks who just want to be able to show their support in that manner. The next one, the full pint, this is where things start to get fun. So there are 2 main benefits for this tier for the full pint. First is the newsletter, and this is something that I have talked about kind of ad nauseum, hinting at. The next slide will actually break down a example newsletter, so that way people can kind of know what they would be getting. I plan to post this example newsletter online at different points, so that way folks can have access to it at different times. The other part of this is we are going to be starting a Discord community. So Greg and I are going to be on Discord, and being able to talk with people in the industry, essentially, you know, whether there's going to be other brewers on there's going to be other owners, as well as just a whole host of other craft beer fanatics. And we're going to have a whole bunch you can see over there. There is a whole lot of other kind of categories. We're going to have different areas to talk about beer releases, about traveling to breweries broken down by different regions of the state. We're going to have kind of some nerdier sections for, you know, people that may be into home brewing, trying to get scientific about it, all that kind of stuff. So there's going to be some really fun conversations in there. I'm sure we're going to be doing some live, you know, kind of Q&A things in there as well. So yeah, that is going to be a lot of fun. I know Greg has more experience with Discord than I do. I am kind of learning as I go, but Greg is very excited, I know, about the Discord. I don't know. Do you have a better explanation in terms of kind of giving people an idea what it comes with Discord?
Yeah, you know, Discord is I see our Discord as our place, as our community. We are out on, you know, social media and y'all are there and it's great, but really having a smaller community where y'all can engage with us one-on-one. We can talk maybe more frankly that we do about certain things out in the open. And that's what we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to telling y'all all those rumors, or some of those rumors and tidbits that we can't be blasting everywhere, that we hear maybe a couple weeks before, and then we see it come in fruition because we have good contacts and people, you know, we talk to everybody. So it's just really those little special, small little things. Also, our schedules will be posted there. I plan to post my schedule pretty tight. I'm kind of weird about posting my schedule, if that makes sense sometimes. But in there, I will feel, and we will feel, we'll have more liberty to talk about what things are coming, as opposed to, you know, sometimes I post on Thursday that we're going to somewhere on Saturday, right? You know, with the Discord and the Patreon, y'all will probably know almost in advance. Brew days for our collabs. We have collabs that we have not announced yet. We're not at liberty to talk about them yet, but we will be at liberty to talk to them. And we also hope to have some of our brewery professionals in there, and then y'all can have access to them, maybe directly, and just whether it's just asking random questions, or really asking detailed questions if you're a home brewer and you would like to talk to, for example, Simon from Venture. I'll drop his name. He was very, very interested in being on our Discord, so we'll see if he can be in. But the point is, we're going to try to bridge, make that a good community for all of beer community in Wisconsin. So it will be interesting to see, Joel, where that
goes. It's essentially going to enable us to be more interactive with all of you. That is kind of the goal, where it isn't just going to be able to like responding to the random comment here or there on Facebook or Instagram. This is a place that we hopefully can have real conversations. And like you say, you and I can be a little more frank, and we can kind of share more information than what we normally would be able to, in terms of like rumors and stuff. And speaking of like, oh yes, you have something else?
Well, I'm just saying, because as a media entity, we don't want to be reckless with our what we put out there, because we know that people see it and that affects things. Even on a small scale with us, we still don't want to be reckless, and we channel our he's not the editor in chief, he is the chief editor, Chris Drosner, who keeps us in line as far as journalistic. There are things that I would like to run out and say, and Chris says, "Why are you doing that?" And then I don't. So those things could be talked about, though, maybe in Discord. So that's what I'm excited about, Joe.
Yeah. Well, and then the other big thing, as I mentioned, is coming the newsletter. And speaking of like news and information, this is going to be this. Like I said, this is my baby. This is something I have been working on pretty extensively to kind of hone in on what I want to include, how much I want to include of different things. And so this is essentially broken down. This is not how it would look. So this would be emailed to subscribers every Thursday morning is the current plan, because part of this is talking about events for the weekend. So Thursday morning, this would come out. It would come out via email to you. and it would just be a long, list of, there would be stories, breaking news stories. For example, this particular example newsletter would have taken place in early December. That's when I kind of put this together initially. And one of the news stories in there that I had was Quiet World Brewing was announcing their plans to open a new London. That is when we learned about that. So I wrote about what we learned from their posts, what Greg and I learned about talking with David. And, I think I had another story in there in the example newsletter that would get posted later on. But that's just to kind of show you that the first part of the newsletter will be news oriented, where we will typically have at least 2 news stories of current events going on in the beer industry. Then we will have what I'm calling a flight of questions. And as is typical for beer flights, where there are 4 beers, this will be 4 questions that I present to someone in the beer industry. Typically, at least early on, it'll be brewery owners or head brewers. But down the line, I would imagine that I will also be talking to, people in marketing, people in distribution, all sorts of good stuff. But yeah, so these will be 4 questions posed to them that they then respond to, just to give more background on them and their brewery. Then next up is going to be the events and the beer releases. Those are actually flip-flop there from the order in the picture, but that's okay. At the top will be some of the larger scale events. For instance, Fondy Brew Fest, Rock River Beer Fest, some of the bigger events. Actually, I was just at Fondy Beer Fest. And then further down will be a list of other events, which are smaller events that are happening at tap rooms or are maybe happening somewhere adjacent to the tap room, but are being ran by the brewery, essentially trying to set you up with some options for the weekend. I am doing my best to ensure that there is a variety of places around the state are covered, both with events and beer releases. This is not going to be something where every single event and beer release is taking place in Milwaukee and Madison, because that is not, what I want this to be. Obviously, being in Milwaukee and Madison, that is where a lot of breweries are. So there will be plenty of content for that. But I'm also highlighting plenty of places, Green Bay, Appleton, Eau Claire, lots of other rural areas. I want to make sure that we are highlighting as many different breweries as possible. So, for instance, with beer releases, there are breweries out there that are releasing new beers every single week. That doesn't mean that I'm going to have them featured every single week, because I want to make sure that we're rotating in different breweries and showcasing what they have. But for big brewery releases, I will make sure to include like Lakefront's My Turn series. That would have been happening around the time of this example newsletter. So that was obviously one that I highlighted. So yeah, those are kind of what events and releases will all look like. And then to cap it off, I will be doing a brewery of the week, which is exactly what it sounds. I will be picking at random a brewery from around the state of Wisconsin and doing a short little write-up about them, about the history, about their beer, including some pictures at the bottom. We actually chose Bibulus for this example newsletter because they had actually just announced closure shortly after I'd finished writing this. And so that way we can give them, some love without using one of the breweries that we were maybe going to use here earlier on for once the newsletter goes live. And that's also why we used our good friend Bill and our good friends Bill and Jessica for the example Q&A. I asked Bill if he would be willing to be the guinea pig to be on the example one. So, Yeah,
and Bill's a staff member here, so he's part of the crew.
Yeah, he wasn't at this time. He was not at this time though.
True.
When we did this, he was not at this time yet.
Also, I want to make sure that you explain that on Bibulus, because we don't want it to be a hex.
Yes.
Anywho.
But yeah, this will be coming out weekly. So every Thursday morning for $5 a month for this, you would be getting access not only to Discord, you will be getting this newsletter every single week. Thursday, like I said, you'll be getting lots of interesting news and updates. You'll be getting Q&As. You'll be getting up to date events and beer releases for folks that like to follow that. So yeah, something I'm really excited about working on. I already have the one for this Thursday ready to go. So if you want, you can go sign up right now. I just posted the link on Facebook, on our Facebook page. It is also on the Instagram bio for the Patreon. And with this, I should clarify too, with the newsletter, when you sign up, you will I will make sure that you get the out that you get the previous week's newsletter. So if you sign up on Sunday, I'll send you the one from the week from that Thursday beforehand as like a test, just so that you can also get that. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this, and hopefully we get some people subscribed, because like I said, sharing this first one is, you know, I've been sitting on this for a while. So it's going to be, some of the stories are kind of combining some of the, you know, opening and closing things into one thing to kind of like, you know, bring us up to this point. But once we get the ball rolling, it'll be, you know, more concise and up to date.
All right.
And then we have the Barrel Age Reserve. So this is the big one, obviously, at $10 a month. This is kind of the highest grade that you can support us at the moment. And obviously you get all the lower perks. You get the shout outs, you get, you know, the newsletter, you get access to the Discord. But what you are also getting is a lot more content. So you will be getting extended interviews. So like I said, we are still going to be doing podcasts, but we will also be doing extended interviews within these podcasts for more information, more background with these people. And you will be getting access to that. Oftentimes, you may even be getting access to the video portions of those interviews, which we have not done up to this point. You will be getting early access to the podcast. You will be getting physical merch that, you know, whether, you know, can koozies, stickers, coasters. I think we've looked at some, you know, different shirt designs, but you will be getting merchandise and just other exclusive content. I am currently working on a video series called Flights that I will be shooting with head brewers and owners around the state, where we will be sitting down. They will get to pick out 4 of their beers, and we will sample them together, and I will ask questions about those beers. So yeah, I am just really excited about that. And that type of exclusive content is what you can expect when you are supporting us at this level. You know, we are just really excited about providing more content. I think that is what this boils down to, Greg, is that we have continued to build relationships. We have continued to expand our reach and what we do, and being able to now share that with people in a broader way is going to be really fun. It's going to be really cool to do. As you said, the Discord is going to be a really cool benefit for folks in terms of kind of being able to get, you know, learn more about me and you personally, and maybe meet up with us, you know, like you said, if we're talking about where we're going, where we're hanging out, you know, I think that's something that we've discussed. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have any other comments. We basically, you know, we really want to say thank you to everybody for our support. I'll kind of put a bow. I'll kind of, you know, give a summary at the end here, but before I forget, I really want to make sure that we express our gratitude to everyone that has watched and followed Badger Beer Report. Obviously, you have been here since the very beginning. This is, you know, Badger Beer Hour, you know, kind of the predecessor to Badger Beer Report, and I've watched it grow. And I have been here for the last couple of years now, and have, you know, been part of this transformation from a once a month live stream into essentially a full on. Calling us a news organization is no longer really going to be a stretch. We are going to be providing pretty much up-to-date coverage consistently. We are going to be, you know, streaming more consistently. Like I said, the newsletter stuff, we are going to be out there at more events. We are doing way more collaborations. We are meeting with all of these owners and brewers and building personal relationships to ensure that we are providing you, the followers and the subscribers, the best possible content out there. And obviously that means we also need to thank all the brewers and owners that put up with us, Greg.
Oh my goodness. Look at them all there.
Yeah,
we just had 6 last week that were dealing with us one afternoon.
Yeah. So we just want to thank all the folks here. And this collage of photos doesn't even, you know, obviously fully encapsulate all of the amazing people that we've been able to spend time with in the industry. And we are just excited about continuing to build more relationships, strengthen the relationships we already have, and just continue to build Badger Beer Report into something that, you know, people really are passionate about following, because you and I are obviously incredibly passionate about the Wisconsin craft beer scene and sharing all the wonderful parts about it. And so having like-minded people that want to follow along with that is really, really cool.
And let's get it let's keep it a buck. I love saying this one. Wisconsin is a special beer place, y'all. I think that we don't understand how special we are in this area. We have some of, if not the most rich beer history in this country.
Yeah.
We have a concentration of the best beer gardens in Milwaukee area, period. End. And if anyone wants to come at me, I will listen to your arguments. But you will not find a metro that is so rich in history and also rich in right now, if that makes sense, and current affairs. We are still very relevant, Milwaukee, and just the whole state. The idea of, Wisconsin drinks a lot of beer. Yes, that's true. But Wisconsin is, again, history-wise and current-wise, beer relevant. We are as beer relevant as any other state in this country. And I just love that this is the place that I ended up covering beer because of those reasons. It's just, there's just so much to love about our beer culture here. And this is the passion that Joel and I have. Joel has been to 50 states, y'all, and over 1,000 breweries. So, I mean, if anybody knows if what I'm saying is true, this guy could debate it right here. He could debate it, and I don't think he's saying much. So, that's the passion, and that's what we love bringing to y'all. And I just can't get enough of everything. The more I find out about it, and yeah, Joe, I don't have much more to say.
The other thing too that I want to hint before I'll go back and summarize it too is that, as you said, in Discord and in Patreon in general, people will also get our more opinions as well. Oh. So yeah. Greg and I have discussed even, doing whether it's a draft or a tier list or a top 10, whatever the case is. Greg and I have discussed sharing opinions on our absolute favorite breweries in terms of listing and, taking that step. But again, that is only like the privacy of the Patreon and the Discord. So if you want to get that extra access, you're going to have to, hop on in membership. I wanted to do, where's the,
right here.
Here we go. Yeah, we're right here. Perfect. So again, to go back and summarize it here, again, we currently have the link up on Facebook. I posted it. It is also on the Instagram bio. I'll double check. I think I can go put it on YouTube as well. Or if you just go to Patreon, you should be able to find us. There are the three levels again: short pour, full pint, barrel aged reserve. Short pour is essentially, again, you want to support us. You enjoy our content. We want to make sure to give you a shout out. The full pint is kind of the middle ground, and I would argue the best bang for your buck in terms of the amount of content you're going to be getting with access to the Discord as well as the newsletter, and all that extra exclusivity with Greg and I. And the Barrel Age Reserve is, as I said, get the most content you can. So the Barrel Age Reserve is where Greg and I are going to ensure that we are throwing whatever we can in terms of content ideas in there. You will be getting more interviews. You will be getting longer interviews. You'll be getting earlier access to it, all that kind of good stuff, as well as some merch. So yeah, that is our pitch. We, for folks that are going to be following us, you can expect to have follow-ups on this, because obviously something like this is a slow burn. This is not something that is all of a sudden going to explode overnight, but it is something that we want to grow, and kind of fan the flame, because eventually we want that Discord to be a big deal and to have a lot of people joining it from all around the state, because that is what would make that Discord great. So you can expect to hear us discussing this and talking about this, pretty consistently here for the next while. We'll be promoting it at events.
You've been warned.
Yeah. So sorry about that. But again, sorry. I just want people to subscribe. I want to be able to give people the newsletter. That's what I am most excited about, because that's what I've really been putting a lot of effort into. But all of the content is going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually already scheduling the first couple video shoot interviews on like flights and everything with a couple folks coming down the line here in the next month or so. So yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff, and we are excited to share it with everybody.
And for anyone who may not be in position to support, I just want to say Joel said it before, but
Yes.
part of the reason why the first 3 or 2 months you haven't seen much content is because we've been preparing for this. So that's gonna come out, or we're gonna have Garth back, y'all, really here soon. And I will, you'll see more podcasts coming out from us because
Yes.
again, we've kind of been holding back a little bit because we didn't know what the Patreon was going to look like and putting all these things together. So believe me, it's going to be robust on the free side as it used to
Yes.
be, but
Nothing is
even
changing.
more. It's going to be even more here with the Patreon. But again, still you'll start to see us have podcasts. Mix Six is coming back.
I've got 2 scheduled the next week.
The Brewery Report is next week. The Mix Six, I believe, is the week after. I think we're gonna have one. I got to check with Chelsea, but all those things. Just saying, y'all. We're still going to be the same for those who aren't paying. We're just going to be more for those who will.
Yep, 100%. And that's what I said at the beginning. I'm glad that you reminded to clarify again. If you are unable to contribute, we still appreciate your support just as much. Right. And that is why, we are not putting anything, none of the content that you have already been seeing is going to go behind a paywall. Nothing that you have been experiencing is going to be going away. We still want to provide all of that content to you. So this is an addition. This is not a, shifting things around or subtracting. This is an additional thing that we are doing and building and are very excited about sharing with you.
I'm good, Joel.
Yeah. So again, you will probably hear from us here in I guess next week. You'll hear us talk about this again in a week, Greg.
Well, more importantly, while we're here, we'll have a Brewery Report next week, y'all. So next Thursday, same time, same bad channel, and we'll talk about this. But really, we get back to everything that we're gonna do, and so we're really Joel, unless you're done, I can take us out, or if you want to take us out.
No, but, I'm good.
Okay, I'll let you take us out like normal. But before we get there, we're absolutely going to be putting the beer into report this year. We will have a bunch of beer that we sanction and we have collaborations with coming with you. Actually, y'all already know about Dash Beer, so that's coming back. We've confirmed that it's coming back, the same recipe, and we are talking to Joe and Dean about that at Gathering Place right now. And soon we will have other ones to discuss.
Several.
The summer is going to be pretty fire for us with the beer. And then Joel, on that note,
I was going to say, well, and just on the summer, if you want some, just know great taste, you're going to want to be at Great Taste this year. If you weren't already.
You always want to go to Great Taste.
But this year, if you like Badger Beer Report, start planning.
Joel, but anyway, lead us out.
As always,
you say too much. Thank you.
Whether it's where you are living or where you're visiting, be sure to drink local everywhere. Cheers, everybody.